Hi, this is Chandni Singh and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about summer glam. So you have to remember that we have a really hot summer and most women tend to be a T-zone oily with dry to normal skin otherwise. So I would say that you shouldn't really go too dewy on the skin because naturally you would tend to sweat it out a bit and your T-zone is going to become a little bit oily anyways. However, as always, I'm going to start with my eye makeup first, and I'm taking my NYX eyeshadow primer and I just dab it all over my lid. I'm gonna take my favorite brown pencil, and the one I'm using is called Cocoa Bar by Color Bar, the perfect brown for Indian skin tone. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my brown pencil and I am going to apply it all over my lids. So it's really creamy and it like totally glides on to the lid in a second. After that, just take your fingertips and start blending it out. If you find it kind of cumbersome to do it with your fingertips, you can just take a fluffy brush. The one I'm using here is by Real Techniques. So all you need to do is just blend those harsh edges out. I love brown. I think it just looks so fantastic on our complexion and our eyes. So what I realize here is that my right eye is a little bit darker than my left. So girls, these are things that you'll have to really watch out over. So in fact, that's a very common mistake, like unequal makeup on both eyes. So just dabbing some extra color and just blending it all over the lid. So I always like to kind of take my color a tad bit up into the crease line. So like, make sure you kind of take your color up into the crease. So there you go, perfectly blended eyes. So now I'm going to take my favorite palette, the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette, and I am going to use this color here called Busted. Right, so all I do is I take an eyeshadow brush. So the one I'm using here is by MAC, and I just take some of this and I kind of apply it all over the pencil. So this is just to kind of intensify the color a tad bit more. I know it looks really dark and I know we are talking about summer glam, and I know people think that, oh my god, that's too dark for summer, but I'm gonna really soften this out and you are gonna see it. I mean, I'm not gonna make it nude, but yes, it'll look like a perfect balance, right? So after I'm done with that, I'm again just going to take my fluffy brush by Real Techniques and I just blend this out more. To soften the edges on top here, what I do is I just take like a nude color. So the one I'm taking here from the palette, it's called Tease, and it's like a very soft earthy color. So I just take that on my brush and I just kind of take it right into the crease line where that brown line is coming. So in case it's too harsh, you will realize that the moment you apply the transition color, it just kind of softens up immediately. You have to remember that you need to take the color outside the realms of your natural shape of your You need to take it outside your natural shape of your eye. Alright, so if you now see, can you see the one with has a transition color and one without? This looks much softer, and it also kind of gives a more finished feel to it, right? So now I am just going to so there you go, I'm done with this. And now I am going to use a metallic pigment by MAC. So these are gorgeous, totally high on shine, and totally love the way they kind of pop on top of the brown. So I just take this on my brush, right, just a little bit, and what I do is I just kind of apply a tad bit in the center of the lid. So yes, ladies, I agree, it's kind of dramatic, but that's what I wanted to do, because I mean, I'm just going to show you that how you can really play up those eyes, keep your foundation really minimal, dewy, and just do a gorgeous lip and, you know, look absolutely smashing this summer. And of course, we're talking about glam, so let's just roll it. And I'm just going to take my fluffy brush back and I'm going to start. There you go, I'm done with my lashes, and that's more or less most of my eye makeup for the day today, right? And now I am going to start prepping my skin for makeup. So I am going to apply the Faces Hydro Face Moisturizer. Absolutely in love since the time I've discovered it. So I relatively have pretty dry skin, you know, and if I tend to get oily, I usually just get a dab here and a little bit here. You always have to concentrate the most on your under eye. If your under eye is dry, remember, your concealer won't set in properly. So just apply it really well. And today, because I want my foundation to look kind of dewy and nice, I am going to take the MAC Fix Plus and I'm just going to spray it on my face mask. So once from the right side and once from the left side, and the best thing is to let it dry off naturally. You know, so this just kind of gives a beautiful glow to the skin without making it look too oily, which is great. The next step is using the MAC Strobe Cream, and I'm gonna apply very little. So just a little bit, and I just kind of take it all over my skin. And now I'm going to use my orange corrector, and everybody knows that I use the MAC Pure Orange, and I'm going to apply it to my dark circles and pigmentation anywhere on my face. And now I'm going to use my MAC concealer, and the shade I'm using is NW35. And I'm going to take my beauty blender and I'm going to start blending this out. So now I'm all blended. So now you can actually just take your BB cream or CC cream or light foundation or whatever and just kind of just do a little bit, you know. So today I'm going to use the L'Oreal Infallible 24 Hour, and I am using it in shade 300. And if you really see, I do not use a lot of foundation, you know, it's just a little bit. If you want to be sure that you've applied it evenly all over your face, you know, you can dab it all over your face at equal distance. And if you're wearing a deep neck, make sure you kind of bring it all over your neck. Start blending it out with your damp beauty blender. If at any point you feel that, you know, your foundation's looking too dramatic or you've done it too much, just squeeze out the extra water. It could be any sponge really also, you know, I mean, it's not important that you need to own a beauty blender, but yes, if you own this tool, you must know, girl, that it is absolutely magical, and once you start using a beauty blender, you cannot really use anything else. So after you're done with your foundation, today I'm going to use my Laura Mercier translucent powder. I'm gonna set my foundation in place. If you think your T-zone oily, you can do another round of loose powder just on your T-zone. And today I'm gonna keep my contour really dark, but at the same time it's not really going to show a lot. I'm like going to really blend it because I really want that little cut. So I am using the color called Dark Deepest by MAC, and that is how it looks like. And here I'm taking my MAC contour brush. So the idea is to kind of start the line at the top of your ear and kind of bring it towards your mouth. So if you keep your, if you suck your cheek in, you know, you can give yourself a good direction that which way you have to go. And I'm going to take the color on my temples as well, and some on my hairline. You can always take a big powder brush and kind of really blend it well. And if you highlight the lower portion of your jawline, you will instantly make your contour really stand out. So I'm going to take a shade lighter than my skin tone, and here I am using NC30 by MAC. And I'm also going to draw this on the bridge of my nose, right on my cupid's bow, the tip of my chin, and on my under eye. Now I'm going to blend this out. You can also take your beauty blender and do that. And now I am going to take my brown pencil from Color Bar again, and I'm just going to give myself just a bit at the outer corners. You know, that instantly gives you a nice definition to the eye without kind of making it over dramatic, because I think what I've done so far is pretty dramatic itself. And just blend it out. And I'm gonna take back my mascara, the Faces at a Time Pro, and I'm gonna apply some on my lower lashes. Hold my wand vertical and just take it all over my lashes. And the blusher I'm going to use today is the Color Bar. It's called Coral Craving and it's shade number 9. Just take this. So I'm going to concentrate more on the apples of the cheek. At any point, if you want to be double sure that you've blended it enough, just take a big brush. So recently I laid my hands on the fabulous highlighter called the Mary Luminizer by the Glam Cosmetics, and have become a complete fan of this one. So it's like a beautiful pale gold. So I'm just going to take my fan brush . I'm going to apply some on my collarbones as well. This instantly pops them out. And I also feel that it gives you like a complete look from hair to hair. So applying the highlight on my lip also, because I'm planning to keep it really pale and very beautiful today. And for my lips I am using, so I'm going to line my lips with a Color Bar pencil called Just Coral. And today I'm going to use the Faces All Time Pro matte lip crayon, and it's called Wrapped Up. It's the most beautiful peachy orange color that I've discovered in the longest time, and how they glide over the lips is just fabulous. So the lipstick that I really thought of, this is kind of too bright for what I want. So I always like to apply a little bit of concealer on my lipstick. So just dab a bit and blend it out with your lip brush.